Hello, this is the tutorial on viewing the daily results on a field by field basis. So once you have signed up new fields, then the computation starts and you get daily updates of your field information. And that can be viewed here. So you can click on fields, then you get this. And also you can click on your orders. Now this is an example of one order with number 19. And you can see here that the period of this order is from June 2019 to September 2019. So let's look at the result. This is a map that we call irrigation map. You can see that here also from the legend. And the legend has three colors only. Red means irrigation, and green means okay, and blue means over irrigation. It is a raster map because we can see every individual pixel. So you can really zoom in, and these are small fields, and you can see every 10-meter pixel you can find back. If an entire field is red, it means 100% of all these pixels require irrigation, which means it's really urgent. If we go to a field like this, that means, well, only a certain fraction is requiring water, but the green pixels are still okay. If you go to this field, then you see that the whole field is green, which means no worries. And these kind of maps are very useful to look at during the morning. During the night, all these images are processed from yesterday, and during the night we create this irrigation advice for you. So at the breakfast table you should have this information available. You can see this also on the app that we provide you. But if you have more fields like here and you want to plan the work, so if you are the manager and you want to plan the irrigation of all these 40 different fields, then such kind of overview is very practical. And basically, you should start going to all the fields that are in red. Not only you can see information on the type of the need of irrigation, but also you can click on other parameters. So very important is the moisture in the root zone. And here you can see the values. Now the values are, in this particular case, in the middle of the summer, rather low. You can see the moisture here is 7 to 13%, and that's not so high. Except here in this field, they are heavily irrigated, actually even over irrigated as we saw, because they appeared here in blue, which means that the moisture is more than the moisture at field capacity. The timeline of these fields can also be viewed by clicking on a field, and then you can choose, for instance, from different parameters. This, I must say, is a very long list. We are working now on to make this list shorter, but here you can see the soil moisture content. This is the field with the code name that you have clicked on. You can see here the day-to-day variability of the moisture. And in fact, if that moisture is getting too low, then there is really time to start irrigating again. And that is shown on this combined graph. So the orange here is what is called critical moisture, and the blue line here is your actual moisture. And you can see here that in some cases the blue line is below the orange line, which means you were too late with irrigation, and it will hamper your crop production. The purple line here is the field capacity, so we call it over irrigation if the moisture is in this range, and this is when the soil is at full saturation. So you can review all this information. You can also review other parameters, for instance, the actual evapotranspiration. So you can see here how that changes strongly from day to day, because It depends on the weather. But if you want to know the total of the season, because you want to know how much water your field is consuming, then also you can have here accumulated lines. So here you can see from the 1st of June onwards how many millimeter of water you are consuming, which is very important so that you're not using too much water. Another one that is also very interesting is the amount of applied water. From the calculations of evapotranspiration and soil moisture, we back calculate how much water must have been provided. So here you can see that almost every day a certain amount of water has been given, except maybe here on 1 or 2 or 3 days not, and in most cases somewhere between 6 to even 12 to 14 millimeters per day, and that is very interesting information. Graphic information is good to have a quick overview, but if you want to have this data also in a table, then you can view that. So you can really see the numbers here. So you can look at the moisture, the vegetation cover, the amount of water applied. All that information is here, but you can also put it in Excel. So you just push Excel, and then you get here all the same information nicely presented for this particular field. It's also easy to shift fields. If you go, for instance, to another one, then you get other data. This is all raster, but in addition to raster, we also have vector data. The raster data is really meant to see within field variabilities. But if you are more interested in the average value of your field, you have to go to vector. Now here, for instance, again, you can see the soil water in the root zone. And now you get one value for every polygon. Now also you can see the benefits of having more polygons. Because for every field, we can provide now all that information. If you would have made one big polygon, you will get only one value. Now you get the value for every individual field. You can also change the dates. So this is 30 of July. You can also say, okay, now I pick 18 of July, for instance, and so on. Also quite important is this information of production. So also you can look at how much is produced. It's also a component of the whole AreaWatch platform. And again, you can click and you can look at the graphs, and you can get the tabular data. You can download. So in this way, you can nicely follow what happens on your farm. I hope that makes it more clear. So in summary, you get essential information on your app, but if you want to monitor a larger area, or like all the fields that are under your management, this kind of portal is much more easy in use. Not only to check it day by day, but also you can look at time series, you can look at average values of moisture, ET, and production. Of course, the production information comes only on if you take the premium package. And I should maybe mention that you get also these efficiencies. I want to mention one more time that you can see immediately which fields have very high efficiency. So the ones here are very nicely, very precisely irrigated. And also you can see here a few fields that for some reason the efficiency are much lower. So it's then also time to talk to the people and the laborers that are in charge of this kind of fields. Now, this was an example of an area near Valencia in Spain. It's a relatively small area, but in fact, you can do the same also for other areas. So you can have more areas being signed in, and then by looking maybe at different orders, you can also see what happens in all your other fields. So thank you for now.